me tell you a story about where I come from. A little small country town called Whiteville, North Carolina. Whiteville and Columbus County is known for farming and sports. Columbus County has produced dozens of athletes. One of these athletes is Morris Singletary, that played for West Columbus High School. In this series, I wanted to bring light to a lot of local athletes, local legends in Columbus County. This is a great way to kick off this series to bring light to dozens of athletes that came from Columbus County.
For the Vikings before Devontae St. Powell and number 1, Jalen Hollywood Bellamy. Grayson Creek, Wolfpack.
Now the announcer said at halftime he has a special announcement. Oh. Hey, you even got to just wave and smiling.
On a night like this, families and friends come together to enjoy football. We're all one at this one time.
My name is Cinder Singletary. I'm from Whiteville, North Carolina. One thing I can describe about Morris is, like I said, he was just quiet. And if you say something, I never seen him get mad. He never got mad. I never seen him get mad. If you talk something over to him, he'll sit there and he'll listen. I don't know if he would do it or not or whatever, but he will listen to you about it. And he never would get mad about nothing. He was just an humble child. I mean, he was not no rowdy child. He never cared about going too many places. He never cared about nothing. He was just as, just at home. He was just fine, And so he just didn't care about nothing. He just wanted to be him, but he was a quiet child. Sometimes you had to push him because if things was going on like that. There was a let's say like a basketball game or something. He didn't care if he went or not. And it was really not his time because I would push him like he was like in the 7th and 8th grade to go. And I'm just going to share this with you. One night, my husband and I, we were sitting there, and right down the road, there would be like a little shop or something you would call that you could go and dance on Saturday night. I said, you need to get on out here and go some. And so he did. We watched him through the window. He had a jacket. He took his jacket and folded up and put it in the mailbox. So, back then you didn't want to have on too much because you wanted to show yourself. So we went out there and got the jacket out the mailbox and brought it in the house. So when he got home, I said, where's your jacket? He said, I don't know. I said, you can't leave your jacket. That's all you got. We don't have money to buy another jacket. And so we played with him for a while, but couldn't find out that he had put it in the mailbox. And we went and got it. And then it seemed like ever since that night after then, he was ready to bounce in. He was ready to do different things. And he was never around a crowd that, I don't want to say kids that stayed in trouble. He was always to himself. When he would have basketball practice, when he would go and practice, he would drive our car. We didn't have one car. And in the evening time when he got ready to go, he would go by himself. He came back by himself. Was a good youngin. He didn't have to talk so hard. Like some we got to say, you do this and do that. If we told him to do something, he came back. And so he was just a very quiet young.
So the first memories of our brother, so we're 7 years apart in age. So growing up, I looked up to our brothers a lot. I wanted to be like him, walk like him. And I think that's common for any younger brother or younger sibling to look up to their older sibling. But yeah, so growing up was cool, man. We grew up in the country off a dirt road. I still remember the address. It was 234. Route 1, box 231, Whiteville, North Carolina. So off a dirt road. Back in those days, you couldn't be in the house. You got to go outside and you got to play and do things of that nature. So for us, it was sports. Sports something that we gravitated to, and we spent a lot of time outside, just throwing the ball around, shooting basketball, just being active outside. As I had uncles, I had a really big family. So the Singletary family is huge. My daughter, she's 10. She always asks me, how many cousins do I have? So I can't count. I can't count how many cousins you have. Because our family is so big, and the cool thing about it is they were all in one area. So it didn't matter if you walk down the street, your aunt's living down there. Your cousin lives around the way. Your uncle lives right there. So we had a village back then that I think, you look at now, we've kind of lost that. So I think growing up in those times back then, you had that sense of family, sense of community. That's great.
Number 4, around the same house.
He was honest about things that he done. And the most important thing would be to me that he listened. Because there was things that we could tell him down through years that there was nothing out there in to get you an education. So he put it in his mind and he went for what he done. And that played a big part in our lives because he wanted to do something. And so he did. But the biggest thing, like I said, honesty, that goes a long way to me.
Yeah, my brother was a big heart. He had a big heart. I think if you ask anybody about him, whether it was from our community, from high school, college, just in his adult life, I think people will say the same thing about him. And most big guys are. Most big guys are, and we're humble guys. We grew up, very humbly. So, that transcended him in his life throughout high school, throughout college, and just throughout his adult life. People really had a lot of admiration for him, and they really treated him with respect because he gave that to them. A few stories about my brother growing up. So, again, we're 7 years apart in age. So, as a young guy, I'm always trying to hang out with my brother, trying to be out there with him. Now, again, the size difference was pretty substantial at that time. I'm a little kid. I'm skinny. He's growing into his body. He's already 6'5", in his teenage years. So, one day I said, you know what? I'm going to try my best. I'm going to try it, Because at that point, like any big brother, little brother relationship, he's going to pick on you a little bit. He's going to, try to toughen you up, things of that nature. So I remember one day, I said, you know what? Today's the day. I'm going to stand up to him. I'm going to try my best. So I'll never forget, after school, I got home first before he did, again, practice and all that. Came home, and I said, you know what? He's not going to pick on me today. I'm going to tell him a little something about it. Just try. And so I stood up to him, right? He's like, man, what you doing? He kind of pushed me a little bit. So I got up and I pushed him back. People should have done that. So at that point, there was a closet behind it. We had those old woven closets. You pull the door, it closed. He pushes me through the closet. Boom, fall back. I'm like, oh my God, what did I do? I'm thinking to myself, like, I should have done this. This wasn't the right decision to make at that time. But what was great about that was that he said, come on, man, get up. And at that point, he asked me, was I okay? I said, yeah, I'm okay. So at that point, I think I earned his respect a little bit at that age, at that juncture. But he didn't try me again. I guess he figured like, hey, okay, well, look, things are growing up now. Well, he's growing up. So I won't try him that much anymore. But I'm still his big brother, so I could do that again if I want to, but I respect it for now.
So that was such an amazing thing that night, to just see the sign with his name on it. And I think a lot of them, they came for the game, but then they heard about that, and it was just awesome. And it really was just fun that night. It made me feel good because he was well known, and he done so many sports and things, because he started out with sports when he was like 6 years old. But when he got to high school to West Columbus, he started out in the 9th grade as varsity and doing different things in junior varsity, but they moved him right on up to the varsity with all the big boys. And I thought that was a great, intriguing thing.
Okay.
At this time, we would like to welcome the Morris Singletary family out to the field. Morris Singletary was an imposing player on the gridiron, but he was also a humble-spirited, gentle giant. Morris quickly gained attention from many college recruiters throughout the century during his playing days with the Vikings. He decided to stay close to home and chose to attend Western Carolina University. Morris continued to shine as a student athlete at Western Carolina, where he received his master's degree for his efforts. Morris would later become a father to his son, Miles. In 2010, we were all heartbroken to hear that our beloved Morris had passed away. Though he is no longer here with us physically, we know he is here spiritually and never will be forgotten. We celebrate and remember Morris Singletary as a beloved brother, son, nephew, father, student athlete, friend, and an overall wonderful person. Let's give Morris a hand in his honor, in his memory. Kevin McKinney has made a generous donation to the athletic program of West Columbus in the name of his brother Morris. Please look towards the scoreboard as you will see Morris's name on it to honor his legacy to the Viking program. Thank you again to Kevin McKinney. Kevin's contributions have been a tremendous blessing to the community and school districts for West Columbus and Whiteville High School.
Well, I was Morris's high school football coach for 4 years, and he was an outstanding high school player. He was just totally all around a good student. He was a great football player. I was real happy for him when he got a chance to go on and play collegiate football from West Columbus High School, and he did well. And then when I got that call in 2010, it just totally broke my heart. It just tore me up to think that, you know, what a good guy he had been all of his life, and now this had happened. But well, Marsh was kind of quiet when he played. Now he wasn't real vocal in his situation, and there's been several times, I just can't remember right now, but there's been several times where during the ball game he'd make a comment or something, you know, and I'd look at him, I'd say, did Marsh just say that? Because Marsh didn't never say stuff like that. But he got fired up and he was ready to go, and he made some comments that were kind of funny during the game to hear from Marsh at that particular time. Well, he came in as a freshman, and of course he was huge. He was a big boy, and we got him into weightlifting, and man, he got strong in the weightlifting class, and he played offensive tackle for us. And tell you the truth, back in the 90s, we ran his way a many a time. We ran behind Marsh a many a time. We had a great season that year, and Marsh was part of us being that good.
My brother was someone that I looked up to personally. You know, whether it was, you know, again, I think any young kids will look up to their brother.
Oh, wow. When he was born, he was a 9-pound child. I had left home that day with my mother to go to a doctor's appointment. My husband worked at night and he was home sleeping. And when I got back home that afternoon, it was about dark. And my brother-in-law told me it had been an accident. And I said, what happened? He had got burned. Back in the day, when you would have barrels outside and you would burn the trash, and he was playing down in the trash, and there was something like a can, like an Amazon can or something, and it exploded. And so he had bad burns. When I got to the hospital in Whitefield, it just took my breath to see him all burned. And it was a touchy thing, and it took months and months. I didn't want nobody to talk to me and say nothing to me about it, because they'll tell you, I know how you feel it. You don't know nothing till you go through it. You don't know. And so it was just some experience. But like I said, that when something happens so fast like that, it really hurts. And it still hurts now. But y'all, there's nothing we can do about none of it, because we all gonna leave here, and it's just a test. All of it's a test that we go through.
So that again, that night was so emotional anyway. But it's being there just to enjoy the game, not only the moment around the game, but just to enjoy the game. I'm seeing these young athletes out there, they're grinding, man, they're working hard. We used to do it just like that. I remember him doing it just like that. But we're losing the game, you know. So I didn't think, I said, oh well, why doesn't get another win, another notch on their winning percentage on West Columbus, right? But the craziest thing happens. I mean, you know, that's the game of football for you. It's 4 quarters for a reason. And, you know, those guys came back. They won the game on the same night that my brother's being dedicated. So, you know.
They would not be outdone. Gonna hand up to the middle here for the big fella. Rumbling, stumbling inside for a touchdown. This would tie the game at 20-20, but last play of the game, it's gonna be a block kick. And West Columbus scoops, scores. They are going all the way. 0 seconds left on the clock. They win this game 26-20. I feel, wow.
I'm a spiritual man, you know, and I believe in God. I believe in purpose. I do believe that night it was already filled with emotion and joy. I do believe that he has something to do with that. Call me crazy, I don't know, but I do believe that night was special. We beat Whiteville. You know, my brother's being recognized. Scoreboard. big name. All our families out there. It's a great night, emotional night. Stadium is packed, all that, right? And they're losing, right? I think it's a story just about overcoming adversity too.
Thank you all for letting me do this. And I appreciate it because I know that Mars would appreciate it too. Because I know he's looking down on us and just a smiling. Jermaine is doing something. Get on it, Jermaine. And I think that it's a really nice thing. And keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it really going.